Okay, we're gonna try this live thing again. Hopefully Noelle will be able to join us this round. We had some technical difficulties, so we're just trying it again. So if you were on with us before, please try to reconnect. And we're gonna wait for Noelle to join us. Just a little bit about who we're gonna be talking to today. So this soulful conversation for today, this Saturday, is with the beautiful and talented Noelle Singleton. Noelle is known here on IG as Coach with the Fro. She also has an organization that she founded known as Afroswimmers. And Noelle, it based, can you tell by the name swimming, Afro swimmer, Coach with the Fro. So she is a swim coach, right? But she's more than just a swim coach, right? And she is going to tell you all about her organization and the work that she does. She also works with the Michael Phelps Foundation. And one of the things I love about Noelle, hey, and I see Yes is on, and I'm wearing my Yes t-shirt here for a reason because Noelle and I do work together with the nonprofit. It is hosted by the Carrie Still Pitts Home. It is the Yes program, Youth Engagement for Sports. We each have leads in different areas. I am the director of yoga for the program. Noelle is headed up with the swimming program. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can get. We're gonna try this thing again. Yes, see if it's coming in. So I thought it'd be appropriate to wear my t-shirt today just to share with you about the work that we do together. But Noelle independently is an outstanding individual. She was based here in the Atlanta area, and now she is based in Seattle, Washington. So she has a lot to share with us. Just by way of recap, I talked about this particular platform that I'm using for Soulful Saturday Conversations. And each week we get to have a different person in our guest chair, I like to say. And I refer to them, my community members, as uncut gems because these truly are gems. We all know celebrities, if you will, but we have celebrities in our own worlds, right? Okay, I see you, Noelle. It says Coach with the Fro is unable to join, but you're going to try to join from Afro Swimmers, so that would be great. But uncut gems, that is quite meaningful for me because gems are precious. First of all, yes. So let's try Afro Swimmers, and let's try Noelle. Go live with Noelle. Afro Swimmers. Let's see if we can join from there. Yeah. So,
we did it. We
we
did it.
see. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what persistence is, right? Like we don't give up, and we don't give up easily. And I love that. It's like, okay, well, this is not working. How can we adjust, adapt, and make this work? Because we know it can work, right?
Exactly. Because we're not new to this. We true to this.
You you and my girl right here. So, okay, I gave you your intro twice. I am so grateful that you're here with me today. As I just told everyone, I refer to my community members as uncut gems, right? Because I believe that you're just a precious, pure, rare soul in this world. And while we have celebrities and people that are well known around, globally, I want people to know who the people in my community are. So for me, you're a celebrity, right? Like you're a celebrity in my community. So I want everybody to know who Noelle Singleton, Coach with the Fro, Afro Swimmers, who she is. Tell us about you. What's your deal, girl? We know you are all down up in the swim world, but like, listen, this is what I say. People, you just got to check her out. So I'm gonna let you speak. I just want to say so much, but I don't want to say anything. I'm gonna let you go from here. So go.
Well, first of all, you already know how I feel about you. And we always have the dopest conversations. And every time we finish talking, we're always like, we should have recorded that.
Yeah.
Like, there's other people that I know who could be encouraged and blessed from this talk.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. But for those of you who don't know, my name is Noelle Singleton, and I'm the founder of Afroswimmers, and we celebrate swimmers all over the world, regardless of color, nationality, religion, and we bring people together through water and healing. Um, I also go by Coach with the Fro, and I sit on the advisory council for the Michael Phelps Foundation. And I just have my hand in so many different pockets. I'm also the social media strategist for the Yes Initiative, which is a community-based grant here in Atlanta, Georgia. I wish I had my shirt. Yes. A community-based grant here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we basically provide free resources to the Atlanta youth, grades 6 through 8. We teach yoga, we teach farming, horseback riding, African dance, basketball. What am I leaving out? Cooking,
Yes.
cooking. And
Yeah.
we provide all of the resources. Our participants spend $0. And what's really amazing about the Yes Initiative is that the coaches are all entrepreneurs and local leaders. So you
Mhm.
have local leaders reinvesting their time into their community. Carrie Still Pitt's home is the home base for the Yes Initiative, and it's a group home located right here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Southwest Atlanta, and they just bless people year round. I don't think a lot of people know all the work that we do. And one of the reasons why, Kamiko, you're one of my favorite people is because you have your hand in so many buckets. And I'm still trying to figure out how you even have time to do all that you do. Teach me your ways, okay? You know, time management is important to all of us, but you just be out here rock starring it. And I'm trying to figure out how you manage to raise 5 children, have a whole husband, whole dog, whole business that you're now expanding, and you're a yoga instructor, and then you turn around and teach other people's kids for free. Like, what? How,
Girl.
Sway? Tell us how. When are you writing your book? Let us know. To the woman who does it all.
Well, let me just say that I first of all I do not do it all. I want to just be caution you because one of the things I've learned in my years is that it's not a badge of honor to do everything,
It's
right?
not.
Like so like I tell people that cape came off long, it's ripped up down the road somewhere. I think God just gifted me in a as we all have our gifts in different ways. Like I just happen to be a person who is highly energetic, and I tend to vibe and move. I vibrate high, as my mom would say, right? And so part of that though is that I lean on my community and my support. Like I believe in the
Mm,
village concept because
yes.
I don't do anything alone. Right. Like I don't
Yes.
do anything alone. Jerry said, I told her she has special powers. So Jerry, my partner here says, I told her she has the special power of ADD. She can do so many things at one time. Seriously, she has a gift. Yeah, and as I told Jerry, years ago, like I did not self-identify as ADD, but
Are you referring to attention deficit disorder?
attention deficit disorder, right, runs in my family heavily.
I did
And
not know that. I didn't
yeah,
know that about you.
yeah,
Oh
runs in
no,
my family. And I didn't have language to put around that, right? To say like this is what it is, like this like and let me just be clear. I've not been formally diagnosed with ADD, but I have family members. One of my kids, one of my five has ADD. We know it's historical in our family. And just based on what I have studied and learned about it myself and seeing how it plays out in different ways, I do believe that that's part of, it's a part of me. And
yeah.
so it's a blessing and a curse in some ways, right? And so I do, but I honestly do lean on my village for support. I try very hard not to do everything, right?
I
I do,
really love that you just said that,
yeah.
Kamiko, because I think a lot of people need to hear that.
Mhm.
There's something called, well, first I want to say I didn't know that you identified with some of the symptoms of attention deficit disorder.
Mhm.
And actually, I haven't really gone public about this yet, but I am going to be talking about it more. I am formally diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. I've been diagnosed since I was a child. It
Mm-hmm.
does run in my family. My mother
Mm-hmm.
has it, my sister, my brother, and I've always been very creative. I've always been a visual learner. But the thing is, just because you have attention deficit disorder doesn't mean that you have to have all the symptoms. So a lot of people think that, oh, well, people who have ADD are, hyperactive and bouncing off the walls and they're always doing things. My attention span is very short. So if I get bored or if I start to lose focus, that's my most noticeable symptom.
Sign. Mm-hmm.
But I'm also extremely creative, hence why I've been so successful in the industry that I'm in.
Right.
Also, I'm in a support group called ADA for adult entrepreneurs with attention deficit disorder, and they provide support. And get this, most entrepreneurs have attention deficit disorder. And
See what
not
I'm saying? Like, who knew? Like, now you just not like, so that's like big light. Wow, that's huge.
And
Okay.
there's also something called executive function deficits. So basically, most entrepreneurs with attention deficit disorder, there's some form of entrepreneurship that triggers their symptoms that they don't necessarily, or what I'll call weaknesses. So for example, some entrepreneurs within my group, they struggle responding to emails. They get anxious when they get too many emails and they shut down, or they struggle writing proposals, but they're great executors. So every entrepreneur has their strengths and weaknesses when it comes
Yes.
to owning a business and operating a business. But when you have attention deficit on top of that, there literally are things that you mentally cannot do, and you have to know when to ask for help and to call on your village. And so for me, as the founder of Afroswimmers and as a consultant, I'm learning to reach out for help with the things that I struggle with. Like you said, I call it busybody syndrome. It's one of the most dangerous things an entrepreneur can do. There's that whole "I can sleep when I'm dead" saying. That's trash. Put that in
That's
the
a lie.
trash.
That's a
It's a
lie.
lie.
That's the
It's not.
devil.
Man, I sleep 9 hours a day minimum. If I don't get 9 hours, I'm not functional at all. I'm not nice either. Don't call me at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had no sleep. Is this Coach Noelle? You think? Who do you want it to be? You better hope it's Jesus, because he's about the only one who can save you from this butt whooping you finna get for calling me at 6 o'clock in the morning. Whatever it is that you
Oh,
need, you need to
right.
take it to the Lord in prayer, because I can't help you.
Right.
So
Amen.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad that you said that. And I've
Yeah.
also, once again, um, learned another thing about you, even as our friendship continues to grow.
Yeah.
ADD can actually be a very I call it my superpower. I intentionally call it that. I don't call it a disorder,
Right.
because it has allowed me to think outside the box and to see things that traditional people don't see.
Don't see. Right.
Also, a lot of people with attention deficit disorder who become entrepreneurs started off working a corporate job, and we do not fit in traditional corporate structure,
Say it
because we
again. Say
because
it one more time.
we do
One more
not
again.
we do not fit into traditional corporate structure. The
Yeah.
reason why is because of our creativity and how fast our brain works. We don't like asking for permission to make decisions. Also, time management. Our creativity has heights throughout the day. So some people are have more creativity in the morning, and some
Yeah.
people have more creativity at night. But people who work a corporate job, you have to be creative between the hours of 9 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people with ADD don't fit into that. So,
Right.
oh, we could have a deep talk about
That's
that and
a,
all the struggles
yeah.
I've had to learn as an adult, and learning
Mm-hmm.
to communicate my needs and my strengths, and setting boundaries with clients, people who expect you to just be excellent at everything. Like, they'll call Afroswimmers and be like, "Yeah, I'd like to speak to someone in your marketing department." Hold, please. Hi, hi, this is Noelle. How can I help you?
The
Oh,
marketing department, right?
you handle marketing? Yes.
Yes.
Aren't you the owner? Yes.
Yes.
And the swim coach? Yes.
Yes.
Like, it's consuming, but
Yeah.
as much as I work, I also rest.
Yes. And I tell you what, so again, that the journey has taken me there. I've learned that, and particularly through my yoga practice, which is why I love this practice so much, right? Like it is life. It has taught me life lessons, and the act of rest, the being still, right? The being like human being, not human doing. I say that even in classes I teach, that we are human beings. We are to be, my favorite, that verse in the book of Psalms, be still and know. I mean, like
Ooh.
yeah, like be still, right? The rest. Like I don't play about my sleep, right? Jerry knows that. She's laughing. I'm like, no, I go to bed at night. I go to sleep, and I don't play. And rest is equally as important as anything that you do. Because if you are not rested, and I say this too, you will learn how to rest and stop and pause, or you will be forced to. Something in life will stop you. Something. You don't go, nobody goes on and on and on and on and on. That's a myth and that's a lie. So this no sleep, I actually saw a DJ who like has a hashtag team no sleep. I'm like,
I hate that. I wish
I,
they would stop promoting it.
I don't promote that. I don't promote that. So anybody who's on here listening, and I see quite a few, some climax swimmers and Jerry, and I saw another comment. The guy said, Sir Yang said, it's defiance.
Too.
Yes, defiance. Sir Yang said defiance.
Sir Yanni. That's my friend Manjani. He's actually in South Africa right now. So Manjani, thank you so much for tuning in all the way from South Africa.
Yes, thank you. Well, we international, girl. Look at you. You international, girl. You got an international compliment. I love it. Love you, Afroswimmers. That's from Climax Swimmers, who's giving you some love, Noelle. So I love that. I think this conversation about attention deficit defiance, I love that you call it a superpower. I've learned and am still learning to embrace those parts of me that I didn't always know what it was, what to call it, why it showed up that way. Because much like you, I'm a creative. So, and just understanding that about myself, it has taken me longer, right, to realize that. I'm so grateful to see that that. Oh, Climax Swimmers is in Nigeria. All right, now represent at the motherland, right?
Shout out to the continent of Africa.
Yes.
Just the whole continent, okay?
The continent, everybody. The motherland, the motherland,
the island nations, all of y'all. Okay,
yes.
Shout out to the motherland.
We love you. We love you, and we thank you for joining and sharing. But we're gonna come back and talk about this a little bit more, Noelle. I want you to share with the people about a little bit more about your work with Afroswimmers, and how you've been able to connect, particularly people of color. I know it's a global organization, and it's about people connecting and healing through water and through swimming. But I think this topic of swimming, particularly in our community, is hugely important. I've always believed that swimming, and I knew this early on, was a life skill. And to our discussion about the ADD, this is why I started homeschooling my very first son, who's now a pilot. He's 30 now, but at the age of 11, we started homeschooling him simply because he was that child who couldn't sit and focus at the teacher and at the board and listen, and was labeled as a problem, and they wanted to give him medication, and that spawned that sparked our journey of homeschooling. So I want you to talk, and swimming was one of those things that we incorporated into his life and routine. All my kids were in the pool as infants, as babies. And now 30 years ago, I was putting them in the pool. Like when they got to be like 6 months old, we started swim lessons then, right? Because I was such a swimmer myself. So I want you to talk about swimming and how it's such a myth that, Black people don't swim. That is such a lie. And Black women with the hair. So you can, I know you can talk and share a lot about this. I want you to give some information to the people about that.
Well, firstly, I just want to say that I'm really glad that you just mentioned that you use swimming as a form of exercise for your son after he was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. Swimming traditionally is a form of therapy for ADD. It helps stimulate both sides of the brain, because swimming is a mindfulness activity. In addition to the full body exercise, so if you have ADHD and you're hyperactive, swimming helps calm you down. It helps with focus, memorizing workouts. Being in a team-like atmosphere, even though it's an individual sport, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many benefits of swimming, but treating ADD is one of those. And that's something that we don't talk about, especially in the Black community. So I'm really glad that you said that. Afroswimmers, how do I grow Afroswimmers? Afroswimmers is all about representation and storytelling. If I had to sum up, what is that movement? What do? We tell this untold stories of swimmers that look like you and I. We tell the story of swimmers that don't make it onto the USA Swimming page, that don't make it onto the high profile swim pages, because they don't see us enough in that area. So they automatically assume we're not participating. And
Mm-hmm.
Afro swimmers is a complete contradiction to the stereotype Black people don't swim. The next
Mm-hmm.
time anybody watching, next time you hear somebody say Black people don't swim, I dare you, show them hashtag Afro swimmers and be like, well, what about these people?
Yeah.
Thousands,
Thousands.
thousands. And
Thousands.
and and there's more. I know that there's millions out there. I just have to
Mm-hmm.
find them.
Mm-hmm.
Afro Swimmers is a conglomerate. We are a umbrella where we provide a safe space for people to tell their stories and share their experiences, whether it be a traumatic experience in the water or a healing experience in the water. We tell those stories and we create the representation that we need to see today. And we use social media to do it. Like right now, we are getting messages from people in Nigeria and South Africa and London. Before social media, you had to send a letter or a fax, which could take days to get a response. And now, just like that, we're communicating. So I took that and I took the power of social media and I chose to use it for good. Everything that you see on AfroSwimmers is positive.
It is.
Or it has a positive outcome, because sometimes we do have to talk about negative topics that
Yeah.
have a positive outcome for the Black and brown swim community.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I love about Afro swimmers is that we are a interracial community. We have white Afro swimmers, we have Latinx Afro swimmers, we have biracial Afro swimmers, we have African Afro swimmers, we have Afro swimmers in Brazil. Shout out to
Yes.
Dominicor. Yes, they make Afro caps.
I have their cap. I have that cap. So
Look
just
at
so you know,
that.
yes, I got that cap. Yes, yes, yes. I reckon I was going to say shout out to Brazil because I got the cap. Yep. That's a whole nother thing that we could talk about. Just the hair
Oh
and
my gosh. Speaking of
yes,
hair, look, so
yes,
so I'm not coach with the fro right now. Right now I'm coach with
with the
the
braids.
braids. And for those of you who don't know, this is called protective styling.
Yes.
Um, and I'm taking a little break from swimming myself, which is why I chose to put this style of hair, to wear this hairstyle. But if I was training actively, this is not a hairstyle that I would choose for
Mm-hmm.
consistent swimming. I would normally recommend that my clients do cornrows, or if you have an afro, pulling your hair into a bun, because it makes it easier for you to put on a cap. Also, when you have braids or extensions like this, when it gets wet, it can get very heavy. And that
Mm.
pressure goes onto your neck. So when you're side breathing and rotating, it can throw off your balance.
Mm-hmm.
So the fro is coming back. This is protective styling. I'm just giving my hair a break, which every Black woman knows how important that break is. Ain't nothing like waking up and not having to do nothing to your hair. It is so liberating. Now I see why women cut their hair off, because I don't have time.
Right.
Because I don't
And
have
I don't want
time.
to do it. And
And I don't want
Climax
to do it.
Swimmers, look, Climax Swimmer says, coach with the braids for now. We want the we want the throwback ASAP. Okay.
Hey, all day, baby. I'm gonna be froed out for life. I just don't see
Yeah.
no other way to live, and that's how my hair grows out of my scalp. And
Yeah.
I just refuse to accept the notion that my natural hair is not professional or not good enough for someone's organization or society. Not only is my natural hair good enough, it's better. It's
It's
better.
beautiful. I
I
mean,
can do.
folks be trying to figure out how to get the fro, how to get the,
Look,
you know what I'm saying? How to get that style.
you'll never find a wig that looks this good, honey. So keep trying. Keep trying. They don't make this. You have to
Right.
grow this.
Yes. 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 Yes.
um
Yes. Okay.
but yes, Afroswimmers is my heart, soul, and passion. Just seeing how much it has grown. This year with COVID, a lot of the pools closed, and a lot of swim coaches took a financial hit to the
Yeah.
industry.
Yes.
It just really wasn't safe to teach. We didn't know a lot about this virus. We knew that it could not live in chlorine, but what about the equipment that we use at the pool, or the door
Yeah.
handle that you touch going into the facility, or it being airborne? The longer we've been living with COVID in our society, the more we've learned about it. And so a lot of swim coaches that I know, some are still teaching, and I'm grateful for them, because some people need to swim right now for their
Mhm.
mental health, for their physical health. But coaches such as myself, we kind of took a break from the water, and I had to redefine myself once again, which is also a quality of being an entrepreneur, and having ADD helped me do that. Um, but I had to redefine my role in aquatics. And so I started consulting. And as a diversity consultant, I help aquatic brands such as the Michael Phelps Foundation, and I work with other companies. I'm a brand ambassador for Jolene, the swimsuits. And I have my hand in nonprofit work such as the Yes Initiative. And I work with
Mhm.
several other organizations like the Swim Uphill Foundation, with
Yes.
Jamal Hill. I've I really do a lot of stuff behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and it has allowed me to reach areas that I could of aquatics that I couldn't do when I was in the water.
Yeah.
So when 2021 hits, we're going to be launching our new website. We're going to be launching our new swim store. There will be a
Yes.
new blog that I'm going to be giving birth to. And these are things that I could not do when I was seeing clients back to back. So
Yes.
COVID taught me a lot about entrepreneurship, about focus, about vision, and about being patient with yourself.
Mm.
And on top of all of that, I have been living with fibroids, which a lot of
Mm.
Black women suffer from. And it has been extremely painful for me, to the point that last year I had to take 3 months out of the water while I tried different forms of treatment so that I could get my life back. And as of recently, I had surgery. It was successful, and I am now pain free. And I
Yay.
cannot wait to get back in the water. And
Yes.
this break that COVID provided to our traditional schedules gave me the time and freedom to take care of myself in a completely different way.
Yes, beautiful. That is so beautifully said. And I would say that, yeah, you're getting a lot of love for that, Noelle. And Climax Swimmers, they have been still coaching and teaching. They indicated since June, so that's beautiful. And congratulations, glory to God for you, Climax Swimmers, giving you so much love, right?
Amen.
We're so grateful. But again, real life, real talk. Just that we all have issues that we deal with, physical, mental. Some are seen, some are unseen. Who would have known that you've been living with this level of pain, and that but taking that break. And this is so, to my point, and I said that you will figure out a way to stop, or you will be stopped. And I feel like, in my reflection of COVID and what it has done, because interestingly, you spoke about how you've had time to reflect and then shift, pivot, if is the term that is popularly used, where people are taking different directions and having to retool themselves and just regroup and figure out what to do in a different, right, and how to do it differently. So COVID has done that for everybody, right?
Yeah.
You've either had to figure it out. It's like a sink or swim, for lack
Yeah.
of a better term. It's like sink or swim. So taking time to pause and shift, henceforth these conversations, right? Because this is
Yeah.
also a shift for me. Last year, this time, I was not doing this. This was born out of our outdoor yoga series that we started in September. And this conversation became a continuum, because we started these yoga outside on the lawn on a Saturday. And it was like, okay, well, I'm all about soul and being soulful. And so we, soulful Saturday conversations, let's just do it, because then I get a chance, this is a blessing for me to be able to pause and stop and bring people in that I love talking. We have, like you said in the beginning, our conversations, it's like, girl, we should have recorded that, because
We have the
it's,
best conversations, and
man.
it's just so. What I love about you, Kamiko, is because of the energy work that you do and that you have done, it's easy to be vulnerable with you. It's easy to talk about, real life situations, like, things that you've dealt with raising your kids and what it's like, being a wife and an entrepreneur, and that balance. The importance, we've even talked about, because I've shared my desire to have children with you. I want to be a mom one day. And we talked about the importance of, people who have baby showers, but they have that nobody takes care of the mom in American culture. And so we talked about, what was the term for the mom?
You talking about when I said like the mom shout, like a blessing ceremony, the blessing way. Yes, we have. So in other cultures, African cultures, Native American cultures, we have blessing ways, right? Like, and it's so in America you might call it the mommy shower. So here in the West, all the focus is the baby, and that's beautiful. We know that new life is a blessing. The baby by default is going to be taken care of, right? That precious new life that comes in. But I think for Americans miss the caring of the mother who needs the care, because if she's not in tip top shape, the baby will suffer. So I learned many years ago, and I learned this through my mom, who took care of me through all 5 of my births. My mother has championed, I've been able to breastfeed all of them. All that was a result of my mom who cared for me. When the mother of who has given birth is taken care of, the child thrives. When the mother, and particularly, I will say that Black women in this country have the highest mortality rate in giving birth. It's so
100% fact.
Facts.
Look it up.
You can look it up.
Not debatable.
It's not even, you can't. So listen, I know, and having giving birth to 5, and it's just a blessing. I've been able to give birth 5 times naturally and successfully, right? Vaginally, I've not had no operations. C-sections is like the number 2 surgery in this country behind back surgery, right? So, this is my point is that we have to learn how to care for the mother first. I think the mamas need to be celebrated, because, honey, if you had a human growing in you for 9 months, that's why men can't have no babies.
They cannot.
Your whole, your organs shift. Like, your body takes a major hit when you have a child, right?
And the fact that our society gives women 6 weeks to bounce back and go to work, it literally makes me sick to my stomach.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We gotta do better. And
we gotta do better.
We have to fight for our self-care. And when I say self-care, the term self-care sounds expensive. When you think of self-care, people think of, oh, I'm gonna go get a mani-pedi with champagne, and I'm gonna go get a $200 hour and a half massage in the white towels with your head wrapped up with a towel too, and a fancy yoga studio.
Yeah.
Those are forms of self-care, but that's not what self-care is. Just today, my self-care for today is I have committed to drinking half a gallon of water, and I went and got a gallon jug so I can monitor how much I was drinking.
You're making me make me think about my water. Here we go. Yeah.
I went on a nature walk, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I got a chance to talk with one of my friends about some stuff that just was on my heart personally. And it made me feel so good.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That is self-care too.
That is self-care.
I learned that from you, just taking these advantage of these little moments and pockets of time that life gives us, and find a way to reconnect with yourself and listening to yourself. I where I am in my life now, I'm 33 years old, and I now realize how special and important self-care is. It
Well,
wasn't something that I was taught growing up.
yeah,
It's something that I had to learn. And social media with accounts like Harmony Wellness Angels, you've been able to make self-care not something that looks expensive, but something that everybody not only can do, but something everybody deserves.
right. Amen. Well, thank you, Noelle. I want to thank you for that. I want to applaud you also for discovering self-care at age 33, because I will tell you, when I was 33 years old, that term wasn't even, I had knew nothing about self-care. So kudos to you for learning early, right? I'm so happy to hear that. That makes me feel so good. I will say that self-care is a daily activity. It
Every
doesn't,
day.
it's an everyday thing. Just like we brush our teeth every day, we wake up, we shower. Though self-care is that too. I mean, and breathe, right? The act of conscious breathing is a form of self-care, right? Because I always say the
Mm,
quality of your breath dictates the quality of your life. And if you breathe in
mm,
shallow, you live in shallow. Breathe
mm.
deep. Oh, hey, talk about it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When you breathe in deep, you live in deep. So your
You
breath,
know,
your prana, it's
that
a
is
fact.
that's so good. And you know what? I was listening to Oprah, and she said this. She said, if you think you don't have time for meditation, you're the one who needs it the most.
Oh,
And so, because
amen.
a lot of people say, well, you listen, I got kids, I work
You
two
don't have
jobs,
time.
you know, I'm a single parent, I don't have time to take care of myself because my family needs me. My
Ooh,
response, what would your response be to that? You grab
my,
that first.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's 24 hours in a day. One of those hours should be for you. It's your life you live in. Because when you gone up out of here, you gone by yourself. So you can go ahead and say what you don't have time for, but that's the power of the mind. That's your words telling your brain I don't. And the reason why you don't have time is because you keep saying I don't have time. So
Mm,
the messages that we play in our head, I don't have time. I don't like, and I'm getting, we're getting so much great feedback. So I see your comments, guys. I love that. And thank you. Climax Swimmers is like, she had a lot to say, yes, about African women and just learning the concept of self-care. And you are so welcome for this conversation. Yes, I would say that there's 24 hours in a day. 1 hour should be for you. One, because if you are not replenishing your tank, filling up your own cup, you cannot, no matter how well you think you might be doing this for somebody else, you're not doing it at all. Because if you're not operating at 100%, whatever you're giving from a place of lack. And you have to,
wow.
you need to give from a place of overflow. So when we say, you know, I say, I don't give from a full cup. I give the overflow, what has run out, because my cup stays on full. I'm giving you
Ooh.
what's in the saucer. You get the
Hey,
saucer.
amen. I received that. Okay,
Okay.
Lord, my, you know what? 20 start. That's something that I'm gonna write that down. I
Write
want
it.
my cup is going to stay full.
It needs to stay full. It needs to stay full because in order for you to give, right? It amazes me how we care for material possessions better than we care for our own, this house right here, this earthly house, right? This is the only house and temple you get in it, as far as
That's
I
it.
know, ever. This is it. This is not, you don't come back for act two. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the final act, right? So
Ooh.
this is what you get. So you need to figure out a way, right? To do the very best you can by this right here, because this is a gift. This life is a gift. This is a present. That's why be in the present moment, right? All these things are so meaningful, and it doesn't cost you money to care for yourself. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
You can go sit outside and
You can just
breathe.
sit down and be quiet somewhere. That is an act of self-care. And for Black people, I will say, for generations, we have been forced. to do things that we did not want to do. We have swallowed our voices. We have accepted abuse, trauma we still carrying generational trauma. I talk about this all the time,
Very
right?
much so.
Yes.
Even as it pertains to aquatics.
Right. So we have to unlearn this stuff sits deep in our DNA. This is not something that we just made up or like you feel in some kind of way. This stuff is for real embedded in your subconscious. You literally have to break cycles. You literally have to break cycles.
I'm so happy we're doing this live because I feel like there's a lot of people. Well, there's people who are going to see this and be like, wow, this is deep stuff. This is how our conversations always are. Every time Kamiko and I get around each other, it's a ministry. We're ministering to each other.
Yes.
And if I feel sorry for people that don't have someone like you in their circle, because they're missing out on just being able to be vulnerable and be present and to learn from someone else. I don't believe in being the smartest person in the room. I love to be in the room where I am not the smartest person so that I can learn
and elevate. And amen. And I will say this, Noelle, for full transparency, we have more than 20 years between us.
Yep.
Right? You could be my daughter.
Yep.
Right? And so I learn from you just as much as you learn from me. So I want to say that it doesn't matter how old you are, how much experience you have, how much money you have, where you live, what clothes you wear, what car you drive. It don't matter. You have to, I believe that the best teacher is the very best student. And I am a student of this life. And I just want to say that I appreciate you so very much. I appreciate you taking time out of your day, being vulnerable, for sharing. I feel like every time we connect, we just deepen our relationship even more. And I love that. Yes, Kiana Swimming, thank you so much. I love that. I truly do love that. And I hope that everybody who listens to this and has an opportunity to hear our conversation knows that this is who we are, right?
This is how we talk to each other on a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
This is not for show. We're not putting on any special hats. This is real life.
This is how we roll. And this is why I have these Soulful Saturday conversations, because I totally believe that, I want to just share you, because again, gifts are meant to be shared. So as you are a gift, I can't keep you all to myself. I have to share you. I have to say, this is my gift.
Well, I also will share that, so I just did a post on Coach with the Fro today. And it was actually a repost from the Hidden Opponent. I did a talk with their Campus Captains program. They are a mental health initiative program for athletes, encouraging athletes to speak up about their mental health.
Yeah.
And so one of the quotes from the talk was, "Love yourself like your life depends on it, because it does."
Yes, I saw that today with the book, the blue book. Yes, very beautiful. Climax Swimmers saw it. I would agree 1000%. I saw that. It is so beautiful. It is an appropriate way for us to conclude our conversation. As you know, and we say this all the time, we got to literally stop ourselves, because I could talk to you all day.
Hours. We could do this for hours.
Hours. So I wanted you to please just once again share with people how they can reach you, how you would like people to connect with you. I know you've got great things in 2021 coming, so we definitely want to make sure that we're following your journey. I'm staying up with you. So tell the people how to stay connected with you, and we are going to wrap up our beautiful conversation.
Well, firstly, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, and I just love being around wisdom and hearing wisdom. So this was definitely a privilege for me to give my time. So I'm just sowing a seed. That's all. But you guys can follow me on social media. Follow Afroswimmers. It's at Afroswimmers. Afroswimmers is plural. SWIMMERS. We are also on Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you aren't already, follow the Yes Initiative.
Yes.
It's at YES_CSPH. And that
Right.
stands for Yes, Carry Still Pits Home. And take a look at Kamiko's shirt. It has that logo on it.
Yeah.
We're doing some really great work in the community, and that's where Kamiko and I do our work together. So if you were inspired by our conversation today, or you were blessed by this message, go follow that organization, share it with a friend. If you know someone who lives in Southwest Atlanta with middle school age children between in 6th to 8th grade,
Mm-hmm.
send them that account. The website is there. We want to bless as many people as possible. We're not
Yes.
asking for donations. We're not asking for anything except participation. We are offering this free to the community. All they have to do is sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So we want you to know about that. Also follow Coach with the Fro. That's where I share my personal journey, also my open water swim journey as well. But Kamiko, your energy is everything. You are everything. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for your message. Thank you for your booch. If you have not tried kombucha, you are missing out. She has all these wonderful flavors. They come in generous bottles, because you know sometimes you get kombucha and it's like this little container and you're like, where's the rest of it? Kamiko doesn't do that. So check out
The mom and me.
check out the booch. I love her booch. Even what's the one I had, was it Moon God? The one that doesn't have any flavor at all.
Oh, that's Star Goddess.
Star Goddess. It tastes, it's naturally sweet. No added sugar, no nothing.
Yeah.
So for those of you who can't really drink the carbonated kombucha, I think you will really like Star Goddess, and I'm going to do a post about that so you can see me drinking it and know where to find it. But Kamiko, thank you so much. I love you, and I'm grateful for you.
Yes, darling. Thank you so much. The love is mutual. I appreciate you. This has been phenomenal. I mean, I couldn't help myself. We went over our 30-minute time, but who cares? We had so much fun. So many great comments. Thank you, everyone who joined. Thank you for the love. Noelle, I know, is receiving it, and as well as I am. We appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will be back at you soon next Saturday. Join us again for another Soulful Saturday conversation. Until then, be well.
Bye, everybody.
God bless.